Welcome back to the 2-Minute Warning. Today I'm taking a look at the Miami Dolphins and going over the 3 secrets to them winning the Super Bowl in the 2021 season. But before we get into that topic, question for those of you viewing. Where do you rank Xavien Howard amongst cornerbacks in the NFL? Do you think he's the best, second best, third best, fourth best, fifth best, whatever it is? Comment down below. He's a special talent and I want to hear your guys' opinion. And I'll give my answer at the end. But getting straight into it, looking at the Miami Dolphins, I was contemplating doing the 3 secrets to them making the playoffs, but there's a lot of assumption they're on a playoff level. I mean, they were 10-6 last year, and they made amazing improvements this year in the offseason between the free agency, between the draft, and just getting more experience and reps for these younger players. They're expected to be a playoff team. So I'm going all the way, giving them 3 secrets that will get them a big ticket to the big game for the big trophy, the Super Bowl. But getting into it, number 1, Tua Tagovailoa needs to enter the realm of being a top 15 quarterback. Doesn't got to be top 5. I don't need Tua to be Mahomes, Rodgers, Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson, Brady, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson realm. I need him to be in that top 15 range where he's not, again, the guy that's going to carry your team, but he's very productive, very efficient, and can get the job done like a Ryan Tannehill, like a Derek Carr, like a Kirk Cousins, like a Jimmy G. Guys that aren't going to be your ballers where they carry your team, but if you give them the right roster, they can be efficient, productive, and they might not have the pretty stats, but they have efficient stats, and at the end of the day, there's a win under their belt. We've seen time and time again, not the most talented QB could get to the Super Bowl. Jared Goff with the Rams, an amazing roster, efficient quarterback, got to the Super Bowl. Jimmy G with the Niners, amazing roster, efficient quarterback, got to the Super Bowl. We're looking at the Titans, Derrick Henry, Julio Jones, A.J. Brown. They went to the AFC Championship just a few years ago. It wasn't because of Ryan Tannehill carrying them. He was efficient and productive and filled his role. Kirk Cousins with the Vikings. I don't think they've scratched the surface of what they really are yet, but I do think a guy like that can get the job done with an amazing roster. Tua, same thing. I don't need him to be this alpha quarterback that just is on par with Mahomes and he's the guy that takes the Dolphins toe-to-toe with him by himself. I just need him to not really carry the roster. I just need him to not drag it down and need his numbers to be as efficient and productive as they come. I need a 4-to-1 touchdown interception ratio from Tua. I think that's very possible. I think it's very likely given the circumstances. Today, Tua is probably a top 25 quarterback. Maybe he might be on the cusp of being 25, 26. Off the top of my head, Daniel Jones, Drew Lock, Sam Darnold, Cam Newton, those guys are all behind him, and maybe a couple more. He's right on the cusp, being top 25, top 26, whatever it is. I need to see him jump the top 15 and hit that realm of possibilities, and it's likely. This year, he's going to have more reps. Last year, he was a rookie, only played half a season. He's going to have more familiarity, more experience, more confidence. He's got a better O-line. It got improved a little bit in the draft, especially after they drafted Liam Eichenberg in the second round. I believe he's out of Notre Dame, if I'm not mistaken. He's a tackle. I don't know if he'll start day one like Tristan Wirfs. I do think in time he could be a pretty reliable guy. Offensive line improved, just the experience improved. Like I said, the receiving group improved. Devontae Parker, he's banged up time to time. I like him a lot, but now he's got Will Fuller, deep threat there, Jaylen Waddle, an X factor there, and he's already got a good safety blanket in Mike Gesicki. Have my questions of Myles Gaskin, but I do think he'll still improve too with his more experience and more reps. Tua, I'm not asking him to be this alpha guy that wins MVP. I'm asking him to be the guy that could just get the job done. Top 15 is secret number 1. The Dolphins win the Super Bowl. Secret number 2, Dolphins have to break the wall of becoming a top 5 defense. They have to have that statement solidified. It can't be, the Dolphins are in the realm of top 5. It needs to be known amongst the league. When you name the top 5 defense, Washington, Bucks, Rams, Steelers, Bears, Vikings, Colts, whoever you got in there, Dolphins need to be in that mix of the 5 best. And this is in contingency of them keeping Xavien Howard and that he does not get traded. Xavien Howard, I don't think he wants to leave Miami. I don't know him personally, but I don't think he wants to leave Miami. He just wants the check he deserves. He's played top-tier talent. Give him top-tier money. There's no reason Byron Jones should be making more than Xavien Howard. Again, he's not trying to force his way out like who's ever on the trading block that just wants their way out. Deshaun Watson, he's clearly wants out. He's not trying to force his way out. He just wants his money, whichever teams that's going to be. He's giving Miami a chance to match it. But if they're not going to do it, he's going to cause some problems with staying on the team. So if they could keep him, they need to keep him and become a top 5 defense with Byron Jones, with Javon Holland, with Jason McCourty, with Kyle Van Noy, with Jaelan Phillips, with Emmanuel Ogbah, Christian Wilkins, That is a talented roster, but we're going to need a couple of these younger guys to really step up, come to the rookies, Jaelan Phillips, and Jevon Holland, we were going to really need to expect a lot of big things out of them for them to get in that top 5 threshold. Right now, Miami, I think it's right on the cusp of being a top 5 defense. You could make the argument they are, and I'm not saying they aren't, but it needs to be known. Like, top 5 defenses, you have to have Miami in there, whether you're a fan, a scout, a player, broadcaster, whatever it is. I need Miami's defense to be so good that everyone knows, yeah, they're got to be in my top 5 list. So I'm going to expect a lot of coverage from Jevon Holland. I expect a lot of sacks from Jaelan Phillips. I'd love to see Jaelan Phillips win Defensive Player of the Year. That would be huge. Kind of like a Nick Bosa effect he had on the Niners his rookie year. That's what I'm looking for out of Jaelan Phillips. A little different circumstances. Nick Bosa was taken, 2nd overall or 3rd overall, 4th overall, 5th overall, whatever. I think it might have been 2nd overall. Whatever it was, we need to see that similar thing out of Jaelan Phillips. Again, different situation, but I do think he needs to have a serious effect. Maybe like a Chase Young effect that's more realistic. Put up 7.5 sacks, just bring his energy. We need to see Miami become a top 5 defense to carry the load on defense. Offense will get the job done too, but we need the defense to back and hold their own as well. And the third and final secret, these are 2 separate secrets, so it's kind of 4 total, but I don't think they're strong enough, and I don't think they're secretive enough to be on their own. First one is injuries. They just need to stay healthy. Didn't want to make that a whole secret because everyone knows every team needs to stay healthy, but the Dolphins specifically get banged up time to time, whether it be COVID holding some guys out or the receiving group. That's what scares me the most. Devontae Parker, amazing talent, struggles to stay healthy. Will Fuller, amazing deep threat, struggles to just not play, whether it be suspension or injuries. Jaylen Waddle hasn't played in the NFL yet, but he has a history of injuries in college. We need a healthy roster amongst offense, defense, head to toe, top to bottom. It needs to stay healthy. So that's part 1 of secret number 3. And part 2 of secret number 3, we need to see Brian Flores break the wall of becoming a top 10 head coach. Again, just like the defense argument, you can make the argument he's already top 10, but he needs to be a solidified top 10 that everyone understands it. Looking at the head coaches among the league, this is off the top of my head. There's 6, 7, 8 that are just solidified as the top 8 coaches in the league. Again, off the top of my head, I'm sure I'm going to miss someone. Bill Belichick, this is in no order, by the way. Bill Belichick, Andy Reid, Sean Payton, John Harbaugh, Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, Mike Tomlin, Sean McDermott, that's 8. And then there's a bunch more that get really questionable. Where's Brian Flores fit in? Does he fit right here with Pete Carroll? I'm not saying this is in any order, but I feel like 8 through 10 gets really debatable. Is it Sean McDermott, Ron Rivera, Pete Carroll, Matt LaFleur, Frank Wright, Kevin Stefanski, Brian Flores? Who makes that final last cut after the 6, 7 coaches that are going to be Hall of Fame coaches? Who's in that range? Brian Flores, like I said, you can make the argument he is in there today. He'd probably be, if I ranked it, probably my number 10, but still, a lot of people might not have him in his 10. I need him to get to that level where he turns everyone to his side, believing he's a top 10 head coach, and I do believe in this Miami team. I made a video earlier, a few days ago, are the Dolphins contender or pretenders? I said pretenders in the sense of being a Super Bowl threat that is on the same par as the Chiefs, Bills, Bucks, Rams, Packers, Ravens, Browns. But I did say they're a playoff team, and I didn't bring these factors into account. If any of these things happen, or all 3 of these happen, then they are a Super Bowl contender. Just to clarify my take for that video. That video was just going in blind and just saying, what do I think will happen? These are all my bold takes of what needs to happen for them to be on that par with the Super Bowl teams. These 3 things happen, I do think they have a great shot at making it around the Super Bowl. Not saying they would make them the favorite, but it would put them on the level of any team in the league. If you get a top 15 quarterback play at a Tua, you have a top 5 defense, you have a top 10 head coach, and you have a completely healthy roster, that is going to be a very lethal team in the NFL. That's going to cause a lot of problems, but we'll just have to see if it pans out. Let me know, guys, do you agree or disagree with my takes, my secrets, my opinions? If that comes together, that the Super Bowl possibility will come into fruition with the Dolphins. Do you agree or disagree? And for my question today, where do I rank Xavien Howard? To me, it's really hard to say he's not as good as Jalen Ramsey, Jair Alexander. I truly believe they're all 1A, 1B, and 1C. I think they're all on their own par. I think after those 3 guys, there's a drop-off. Yes, Stephon Gilmore's great, but based off of last year, he's not so much. Maybe if we're talking Defensive Player of the Year, 2019 Stephon Gilmore, it's different. But today, I think the 3 best corners are Jalen Ramsey, Jair Alexander, Xavien Howard, and there is no wrong answer. The guy got 10 interceptions last year. How are you going to say he's not better than anyone in the league? Not saying he's number 1, but I'm not saying he's not number 1. I know that's kind of a sticky situation, but still, I feel like him, Jared Alexander, and Jalen Ramsey are all in their own class. And then after that, then you got your Stephon Gilmore, Marlon Humphrey, Tre'Davious White. Great guys again, but I do think there's a small smidge teardrop after those three. You guys tell me, though. You might disagree or you might agree. As always, and of course, thank you for watching. 2-minute warning.